So today we are gonna learn this simple R&B and neo-soul chord progression. Guys, this is simple and easy because it's made only by 4 chords. The chords are not difficult, the patterns and the timings are not difficult. The drum beat that I've used to show you this chord progression is particularly slow. And we're gonna learn obviously the music theory of this chord progression, because this is what we do on this channel. We try to learn chord progressions and analyze them, understand them, so that you can create your own chord progressions. So it's a good chord progression to dive deeper into music theory, embellishments, typical of this style. But obviously this is not simple if you've just started out on guitar. So it is an easy chord progression for someone who already knows a little bit of R&B and neo-soul on acoustic guitar. But if you don't, you can check out my R&B and neo-soul acoustic guitar course on Skillshare, where we cover everything you need to know to play this genre in detail, with over 40 lessons and over 4 hours of content. And the good thing about this course is that you can check it out for free for 1 entire month by clicking the link in the description below and getting 1 month of free trial of Skillshare, which means that during that month you can watch this course for absolutely free, as well as all of the other courses on the platform. So don't miss it out. It's gonna be at the link in the description below. So this chord progression starts with a C-sharp -7 bar chord. Okay, we are playing it finger picking, and there is a lot of finger picking in my Skillshare course. And what you want to play is a 4-note arpeggio, like this. But on the last note, instead of just playing that sound, we actually do a hammer-on. In a way, you delay that second finger on this chord, and you create this, which is the first of the embellishments that we're gonna cover today. So instead of doing this, we do, okay, which is nicer because it creates groove and movement, particularly because it's followed by a percussion on the beat number 2. Like this. And then when you move to the second chord, which is another bar chord on the 4th fret, but this time it's a G -7, okay, all you have to do is a 4-string pluck, all together simultaneously on the offbeat number 2. As simple as this. And then you will hit another percussion on the beat number 4. Then you move to the next chord, which is going to be an A major 7. And to make things more interesting, I've decided to play the A major 7 in 2 different ways. One, which is very beginner friendly, is actually an open chord, like this, which I love because the voicing of this is fantastic. And by playing this chord, you are using, the root as an open string, and then you're just doing 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string once more as a 4-note arpeggio, followed by a percussion, okay? And then after this, you go to a diminished 7th chord, because guys, we know now, if you are familiar with the channel, you know it, that diminished 7 chords are really important in R&B and neo-soul. And we're playing a C diminished 7th chord with the root on the A string. But even here we are delaying one of the fingers, the highest note, which is this E flat here, the minor 3rd, and we are doing a hammer-on, so once more another melody that we can create with this embellishment between D flat and E flat, so between the flat 2 and the flat 3 of this chord, doing this, okay? It's a slow pluck with that hammer-on with the pinky here, like this. So I come from, okay, A major 7 arpeggio, percussion, I position my C diminished 7th, and I do a delay of my pinky, creating na-na, ready to start again. Okay, now the second time that we go through the first 2 chords, nothing changes really. But when we get to that A major 7, as we said, we're not gonna play it as an open chord this time. We play it as a, position with the root on the E string, okay, doing this. because it's another of those chords which are really, really important. And once more, you find all of these chords, all of these patterns in my R&B and Neo Soul class on Skillshare, okay? And what we do here is once more a 4-note arpeggio, followed by a percussion, still going to that C diminished 7th, but we don't do the hammer-on embellishment this time. So instead of doing this hammer-on embellishment, we do another really cool and typical thing of Neo Soul, which is playing a diminished 7 chord and sliding it 3 frets across, because we know that by doing so you're still playing the same chord, just an inversion of the original one, because they contain the same notes, okay? So you can do this, so. Okay, now, because we're talking about embellishments, exactly like we said that previously on that C diminished 7, I play a slow pluck, you know, to hear the hammer-on embellishment. Even when I play C diminished 7th going to E flat diminished 7th, I like to play them slightly differently. So if this is a plain single pluck of 4 strings played simultaneously, this instead is more, you know, this, which is a pluck to me. It isn't really an arpeggio, but you can think of it as a very quick arpeggio. This, as opposed to this, which would be a single note arpeggio, and this, which is a simple pluck. Okay, so you do this, which is almost a hybrid, if you like, between plucks and arpeggios. Okay, so altogether we've got 2 different ways of playing the same chord progression. Okay, we're playing 4-note arpeggios with a hammer on the first chord, percussion, pluck on the second chord, nice and simple percussion on 4. First time we go to the A major 7 as an open chord, 4-note arpeggio, percussion, C diminished 7th with the hammer on, a delay of the pinky, you know, doing a slow pluck and then percussion. Start again, second time, first 2 chords. Now the A major 7 has the root on the E string, and when you go to C diminished 7th, you pluck this chord, slide here, and play a slow pluck on the E flat diminished 7. So as I said, it's nice and simple because it has a few chords, because the embellishments are easy to learn, and because the chords are not too difficult, although obviously you need to know how to play bar chords, you need to know how to play diminished 7 chords, or at least one position of the diminished 7 chords, and you've got the chance to play the A major 7 this way if you're not familiar with this position, but my advice is to obviously practice this position as well. So now it's time to reveal the music theory, the key, the chord numbers for this chord progression. So what is going on? We are in the key of C sharp minor. This is the 1 minus 7 in the key of C sharp minor. Going to the 5 minus 7, which is G sharp minor 7. So both these 2 chords are the 1 and the 5 minor in C sharp minor. Then you go to A major 7, however you want to play, and this is the flat 6 major 7, which then goes to C diminished 7th, which is the 7 diminished 7th. Now this C diminished 7th is nothing but the upper part of a G sharp 7 altered, which would be the 5-7 altered, the secondary dominant, to go back to the 1 minor, but we don't play it, we replace it with the upper part of it, which is going to be a C diminished 7th, okay? Now, if you are unsure about what I just said, there is an entire lesson on this channel explaining this concept, which is called secondary diminished 7th. You can check it out in the description below. I'll leave you a link to the full lesson. And you can also check out on my Patreon page the tabs and the music theory notes explaining every single chord and degree and all you need to know to really understand with confidence this chord progression and all other chord progressions that you can find on the channel. They're all tabbed out and explained in terms of music theory on my Patreon page. So obviously feel free to create your own variations and maybe add even more embellishments if you like. And when you're ready, go back at the beginning of this video and make sure to play along with me using the drum beat.